Ed O'Brien.
This is the program, guys. Another week of youth football in the books, man. 8 weeks, one to go regular season wise. Some teams will end up next week. That will be their last game. Coming up this week, I should say, will be the last game, and other ones, continue on to make the playoffs. And I think they're kind of almost set. You know what I mean, for the seeding and stuff like that. One game I really did want to mention was a big one in the national conference between Middletown, who had just been thumping people left and right, and Hershey, who really had a nice, stout, stiff defense. Really coming into the game. Didn't score a lot of points, but definitely had the defense. And Middletown came out on top, 20-8. They did the job that they needed to do, got it done, and they're sitting at 8-0, looking very good for that number one seed in the playoffs. Come 2 weeks from now. So, not much really to say this week because most of the stuff pretty much stayed true to form. With the standings and things like that. West Perry still 8-0. Good Shepherd, Bowling Springs in that Federal Conference sitting there at 7-1. Greenwood 7-1. So that's really a tight conference. When you look at West Perry, Greenwood, Good Shepherd, and Bowling Springs, all within a game. Most of those are within a game of West Perry. So, it's going to be interesting to see where they all get seated there. But you got a lot of good teams that are going at it in that conference. And you go up to your American Conference in the midget level, you got Harrisburg Broncos still doing what they normally do, ripping through people. Their toughest test has definitely been Redland.
Yep.
And they played that game 2 weeks ago. So
we talked to one of the Harrisburg Broncos coaches about the game this past Monday. So
and and that's it's holding true to form. Most of the teams that you thought where they were going to number one seed here, we were talking a couple weeks out, did what they needed to do, and they continue to win. They didn't stumble, they didn't slip up. They got the job done, and now they're going to reap the benefit of probably getting that 1 or 2 seed. And I'm really looking forward actually in the Pee Wee division, going all the way down to that Pee Wee, that York Holy Name. It looks like those two teams are going to be on a collision course, when playoffs come along here to go at it. It's interesting because I was going over the Holy Name schedule for the Pee Wees. They've given up 20 points through the first 8 games, and all 20 came to York. They've shut 7 teams out.
That's amazing.
That is very good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but this shows you how good York is, though.
Right.
They've only given up 12 points. Holy Name's given up 20, and that was all to York. They've only given up 12. So, wow. That could be a great game if they meet. You never know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but that would be a great game if they meet. And, you were mentioning it, this Monday. What went on. So why don't you fill the people in? I think it was a fantastic time.
Thanks. Special thanks to all the parents and coaches that came out for our Team Pennsylvania. There were trials for the Team Pennsylvania 6th, 7th, 8th grade youth football teams. And of course, it was open to all players from all different leagues, but most of the players that came were from the CFA.
Yeah, majority.
It was a great turnout.
Beautiful, man, day.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for anything better, man. Sun was shining. It was like 72 degrees. Those kids had a blast on the brand new field over there in McDevitt, 2 years old.
Yeah.
Good turnout for the parents. The people who organized it really did a nice job.
And great coaching up. There was a lot of coaching going on too. I know these players, have to go back to their teams, but for Monday, a lot of these kids got taught a couple things maybe they didn't know from before. Maybe they can probably put in for the next couple of weeks, especially if they're making the playoffs. But the main thing is that I think they're still looking for linemen.
Okay.
For each level as well. So you can email me at bravospa@gmail.com, and I'll make sure that information gets to the right people. After the end of this video, I'm going to show some video clips of some of the practice.
Nice.
I think I already put some pictures online.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. We had a picture together, and it did turn out.
Special shout out to Lil Cleasy.
Taking my picture, man.
Same, right?
Got robbed, man.
But actually, what made Monday enjoyable is actually, we got to see a lot of the kids who we've been talking about as far as their teams.
Yes.
Just getting to see them all be with other kids from other teams.
Yeah.
Some of them already knew each other. I was standing in line, they were asking, hey, what happened during this game? And I blew these guys out. And just talking about football and other stuff as well. You know how kids are. So I think that was a great thing for them to get together and meet somebody from another team and just bond for a day or so.
Yeah, and it was good because I think you get other coaching. Sometimes you get a different perspective. You know what I mean? I know that's not your normal coach, but sometimes, you hear something a little different. Sometimes you can pick something up. And I think that's always important.
Yep.
You're there to learn. You're there to get better. And, those kids, I think, really did a great job. I give it up to, Jennifer, who really helped set that whole thing up, at least get the marketing word out there. You know what I mean? She was big and stuff. And I think it, really went well. You got a lot of kids, and we're going to see where they stand. You know what I mean? This is Team PA, and we're going to see. And it was a decent turnout. I think there was 30 in over 30 for the 8th and 7th graders. I think there was a little bit under there for the 6th graders. But
and it was there were still kids showing up. I know we had to leave a little bit early, but some kids came out at 4 o'clock. So
yeah,
definitely a big turnout. And, they definitely should be proud of themselves. And special thanks to Tony Kennedy, who runs the Maryland Crab Bowl, for giving these kids up here an opportunity to one, get better, and two, see different competition and see where they how they measure up.
Yeah,
give them a great experience for the kids.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing, that they're going to see different competition.
Right.
It's not the same stuff over and over and over again. They're going to see something different. I'm unlimited. You can be as big as you want, and you're going to be able to get down there. So some of these kids are going to have a little shock at first, but that's okay. That's what you want. You're going to be playing against unlimited kids coming up in high school, so you're getting ready for it, what you'll be doing. And why don't you mention about what we have planned, coming in January, end of December, January.
Okay, of course we have the Pennsylvania Elite Football Academy, EXSP, and All-State football. Basically, me and Dave run the Football Academy once again this year, 3rd year in a row, I believe.
Yes.
Yep, and this, it'll be all inside the first several months during the winter. So for the kids that came last year, that maybe stopped coming because of the weather, we'll be inside the whole time. It'll be great. It'll be coached by great coaches and trained by the best over here. So email us at rivalspa@gmail.com, or your email address.
Yeah, EXSP@verizon.net.
Right, and like I said, that's going to start late December, most likely first week of January. So it's definitely happening. Email us for details, and we'll make sure we'll get you the information. But if you're a youth player between 6th and 8th graders, I think we'll take it in high school too. But mostly for this audience, 6th through 8th graders, I think we'll take 4th and 5th graders as well, if they're up to that skill level.
Yep.
I mean, we've had young kids coming before, so that won't be a problem. Just make sure this emails for the information is definitely going on. And if you're a young football player wanting to get better, wanting to get faster, stronger, have better technique at your position, you definitely want to come to our football academy this winter. It'll be the best thing going on around here.
Yeah, and guys, I want to talk on something real quick here before we sign off. But the big thing in the news, especially in this area, has been the concussion thing. Talk about Adrian Robinson and all that kind of stuff. Listen, I understand if you're hesitant as a parent, looking to send your kid out there. I totally understand that. But I think there's so much misinformation going on. Yeah, there are injuries that are occurring, and these are probably occurred from head injuries. But what are we doing to mitigate the problem? I think we've become such a reactive society that, oh my gosh, we spent all this money on, okay, this is going on and this is what happens. But what are we doing to actually maybe prevent, I can't say really prevent, but actually maybe mitigate it and reduce some of the numbers and the severity of it? And there is a lot of information out there. I've been speaking about it for 3 years about what we need to do to mitigate some of these concussions. And don't get all this information like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pull them out because of this and that and this and that. No, trust me, the information is there. I've done the research. I've talked to some of the top people who are actually doing it, on the proactive end of it, of what can happen. So I'm going to be running a clinic, a seminar, beginning of November. I will get you the dates, the details and stuff. I would highly recommend you guys all come out and get the information. I'm not really going to talk about what happens after it, because I don't want that to happen to any kid. I don't want a kid to have a concussion. I don't want a kid to have any problems. We want to prevent a lot of this stuff. We want to do as much as we can, and that's where it's my job to help with that aspect. And I know my man Ed is big into that too. We were just discussing that earlier before we got on the air. So I'll be doing something sometime in November. So definitely make sure you guys go to my Facebook page, Explosive Sports Performance, and also Coach Brix. I have 2 of them on there that the information will be going up. All right, but let's start helping each other out. Let's start getting the information, the correct information, so we don't start scaring everybody, and then all of a sudden there's no football left.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's sad because the numbers have dropped. I've looked at the numbers across the board. There's a 10 to 12% reduction in the last 2 to 3 years in youth football players. So let's start getting the right information out there.
Definitely, as you said, make sure you contact him because he wants to get you the right information, and you can take it from there. But that's what we're here for, to help inform you of all different things, whether it's training, recruiting, what events to go to, concussions, how to prevent them, all kinds of stuff you can learn from this man here. So let's make sure you contact us.
Yeah, guys, so make sure also, I know I always give a plug every week, my man's podcast, you got it. I mean, not his podcast, I'm sorry, his app, his PA Preps app. Like I said, it's always going off. Does the thing on the weekends, baby. Every Friday night, baby. Every Friday night, I get the ding.
You definitely want that. It is the best app.
No, it's not even just the scores. I mean, that's just awesome in itself. But the bonus part is all the videos, the things that he does. You have a podcast on there, don't you?
Yep.
Yep. He's a podcast on there. So he's tons of different information. Get it. If you're a big high school football person, you want to see what's going on around the state, that is the only app you need. The only app. How do you get it?
And of course, you can get it on iTunes and Google Play Store for Android devices. Also, not to put pressure on you, but you can get the app, show your kids what I do.
Yeah.
And that'll give them an idea as far as what they have to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most of them are going to play high school football, and they're going to want to know how to get to a certain level.
Yes.
And
this guy's the man for it. This guy's the man. This guy definitely will get your name out there. Yeah, this guy will get your name out there. He does a phenomenal job of that. And like you said, you sent me something just the other day that some Division I recruiter in the area, some coach just got in contact with you on Monday. Hey, do you have this number? So they're looking and they're going to him. Hey, who do you have available in that area for lineman, running back, whatever?
And that, we can go on all day about this, but that leads to, you really don't have to go a million places to get noticed. What you want to do is get the proper training.
Yep.
That's working hard in the off season. I mean, that shows up when you play. You can start at the youth level as well. Just working hard in the off season, and that's the point. We try to get across to you guys. We want you guys to be the best you can be. And then when you go to a crab bowl, you're better prepared as a football player, as an athlete. You put on a better showing. So that's one of the reasons why we're here as well.
Yes.
It's a whole bunch of information coming from
Yes, that's all we try to do.
for
is
you
provide
parents
it.
as well.
Yeah, provide as much information as we can so you guys get out there and you make your informed decisions from there. But, guys, best of luck this upcoming week. I know it's week number 9 for guys that are done. Pretty much your season's done no matter what happens, even this weekend. You go all out there, man. It's your last game that you're going to play this year. Some of you 8th graders, you might not play high school. You might decide not to. Whatever. Give everything you got. Give everything you possibly can give. If there's a chance that you might still get in, then you better give everything. You know what I mean? You better not be throwing the season. For the guys that are going on, finish strong. Get that momentum going in so that when you hit the playoffs, you're hitting them running. You're ready to go. Don't coast in and then expect all of a sudden to turn it on the next week. Get in there ready to go. So best of luck to you guys. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting rid of these playoffs, man.
Yep, and I'll definitely be at a couple of games once the playoffs start.
Playoffs, we're all over, man. I know my staff has been at a couple games. They were at Hummelstown, I think, last week.
Okay.
And I know they've been at Holy Name a few times, seen a couple different teams, the Packers and stuff like that. So my staff has definitely been out looking at you guys, checking you guys out. So, guys, work hard, man, and just continue to push yourself to be the best. This is Coach Brix.
It's Ed O'Brien.
And this is The Program.